A new report says Russia and China are stepping up activity in the North Atlantic. This has the Navy looking for ways to prepare and counter this movement. Earlier this year, the U.S. military announced a new strategy to counter China and Russia. Much of this strategy is classified, but Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov called the approach confrontational. For more, we're joined by former Brigadier General Anthony Tata, author of the book Dark Winter, coming out this October. Thank you for joining us, General.
Great to be here.
General, how credible are these reports about Chinese and Russian activity?
I think they're very credible. I think we have excellent intelligence that feeds into the National Command Authority. And when you look at President Trump's national defense strategy, the document is very clear, highlighting that Russia and China are peer competitors that we need to take more seriously. And when you think about the containment and destruction of ISIS and other radical Islamic threats around the world, as we have ramped up our activity to try to defeat and destroy those forces, it's now time to refocus on threats such as China and Russia that have capabilities from nuclear to cyber to very conventional fleet forces. And when you think about what's happening with the United States reactivating its second fleet to compete in the North Atlantic, there's waterways, there's minerals, there are several reasons that the United States needs to be able to contest these waters that Russia and China are being very aggressive about patrolling, and the Navy's job is to extend American power and to compete on the high seas.
Well, how different is this compared to events from 10 to even 15 years ago, considering that President Trump has always had leadership by strength? Is that a sort of a change in doctrine and military strategy from what we saw maybe back in the late 90s, maybe even early 80s?
Well, I think President Reagan, increased the Navy by hundreds of ships. So that was the original peace through strength, within our recent memory. And now I think President Trump is bringing that back. What we saw under the Clinton era and even under the Bush era, and particularly under the Obama era, we cut defense just as frequently and often as we could, and particularly under the Obama 8 years. President Obama's strategy was a weaker America makes for a stronger world. And so now what President Trump has is, we just signed a $711 billion Defense Authorization Act that helps beef up our defenses, from everything from space to naval to cyber to ground forces. And so we're entering a new era where we are trying to once again focus on our conventional forces that compete on ground and sea. And this is just part of that strategy that is very clearly articulated in the National Defense Strategy. It's not a secret at all that we see, the U.S. sees China and Russia as our peer competitors.
Well, before I let you go, I have to ask you, do you feel like the U.S. has stepped up its military activity in the South China Sea and the Black Sea in regards to the Navy?
So what I see going on right now is that we are continuing to try to keep the shipping lanes open. It's a very clear mission that the Navy has, and where we compete with China and Russia is where we need to be, and keeping those shipping lanes open is crucial to American commercial success and military success and peace throughout the world, because there are other countries all around the world that rely on those shipping lanes.
Well, thank you, General. We wish you much success with your upcoming book.
Thank you very much.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.